In this video, I'll introduce you to XamDataGrid, the grid control in NetAdvantage for WPF line of business, and specifically how you can customize the editor controls to improve the editing experience for your users. I've created a small project here to illustrate the approach. So what we have here is a single window with a XamDataGrid inside that's bound to a view model feeding in some data that includes date and numeric values. So let's now run this project just to give you an idea of the end experience that we will complete in this video. So we have a single window which contains a XamDataGrid bound to some data, and something we notice here is the currency signs in front of every value and the fact that these values are actually formatted as currencies. This isn't the default behavior for an editor of a double value. So when you have a column which contains values of type double, you would get a numeric editor rather than a currency editor. And these currency signs appearing here and these thousand separators and also decimal point are a result of the customization that I did on the XamDataGrid in telling it to use the Xam currency editor to edit these four columns here. Something else I've done as well is I've set a custom style on the editor of the open column, setting it to display up and down arrows, allowing the user to edit this value in a much easier way. Let's now look at how this project is built to illustrate the approach that's being used. So let's take a look at the XAML code sitting behind this window. So what we have here is a XamDataGrid bound to the stock data property of the current window data context. What we've done here is we've declared each and every field that we want to see in the XamDataGrid, these being the fields coming in from the data source. So something I've done here for the open field, for example, is in the field settings, I've set the editor type to point to the Xam currency editor, which is an editor which is a part of NetAdvantage for WPF line of business, which allows you to format decimal values as currencies. Furthermore, in order to display the spin buttons, I've set a style for this editor, which I've declared as a static resource in this same window. So in this style, which has a target of the Xam currency editor, I'm setting the spin button display mode property to focused to enable the Xam currency editor to show spin buttons once the user has focused a particular editor. So something else I've done here is I've also specified the editor type as the Xam currency editor for all the other currency columns. And again, I've also set the edit as type property to decimal to tell the grid to interpret these double values as decimal. You can use the mask property of the editor to specify any mask that you would like to be used when the value in a column is being formatted or validated. All you need to do is create an editor style, reference it as follows, and set, for example, the mask property of the style to a value which implements your particular requirements for formatting and validation. So hopefully this illustrates how easy it is to change the default editors of the grid to use special type editors, allowing your users to edit and view the values in your XamDataGrid in a user-friendly way.
Infragistics. On the web at infragistics.com.